Hello, everyone. We are here with George Aidoo for our artist spotlight. So why don't you introduce yourself? Just say your name, your age, and where you're from.
I'm George. I'm a photographer from New Orleans, and I'm 24, soon to be 25, but in September, so I guess not so soon. Also,
Okay, that's pretty cool. So I'm just gonna ask you a few questions, for you as an artist. I know art comes in a lot of different forms, and yours happens to be photography, right?
right.
So I'm not gonna take up too much of your time or our viewers, so let's jump right into it, okay? All right. So what inspires you the most as an artist? So in your term, photographer.
Well, before it was um, capturing memories. So
Mhm.
after my uncle had passed away a few years ago, I realized I didn't have any pictures of my mom, my dad, my grandmother, my family members, my friends, or even myself. And I was like, that's not cool. So I just
Yeah.
started taking pictures, recording everything. All my friends were super aggravated with me, like, hey, could you not record us? And I'm like, no, because I have to capture these memories.
Capture memories.
Um,
Yeah.
then I just got after uh some trouble with like self-esteem. I got my first camera thanks to my grandmother. Since then, I've just been taking pictures, mostly because people say, well, you're good at taking pictures, and I love a compliment. Um,
That's good.
and so since then, I've been taking pictures, learning how to create for myself. I've always been a creative person, so
Mhm.
so capturing memories and really like putting things that I see in my head on a screen, to the best of my ability.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So did you get any like special training? Did you go to school for it, or you just taught yourself?
This started as a hobby. I taught myself everything. There was times where I would like go to my friends and be like, "How did this look?" And they'll be like, "This looks like this, and this has this." Like one time, I went to my friend and he was like, "This picture's too noisy," and I was like, "How is a picture noisy? That doesn't make any sense." Learned what
Yeah,
noise was. So it was really helpful. But I'm self-taught.
that's pretty cool. So like like different terms and stuff, or
No,
no, not the terms. I
not all
know
the time.
I took a photography class when I was in school, and we had to learn like these different terms and different angles. And I was like, I did not know all of this went into photography.
Mhm.
So I'm just like, photography, like there's so much more than just taking pictures. Because
Right.
like they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and it is a form of art. So I'm really glad that you found that gift and found that talent and able to share it with the world and other people. So
Too. Now, I
our
will
next,
say I do know the terms. I just can't rattle them off in my head. Like I'm a instructor, so when I teach my kids about it, I'm like, oh yeah, this, you got to have composition and make sure the lighting's good and blah blah blah. If I'm having conversation with
stuff like
another
leading
photographer, I'm like
lines
this
and
and that.
stuff like that.
Right.
That's pretty cool. So what motivates you to create when you aren't inspired?
To make sure it's up to like my current standard. So I'll have a picture that maybe I've edited when maybe a year ago, and I'm like, well, I know more now. So what can I do now to this picture? It
Right.
doesn't always look the way it did in my head before, but like making it topsy-turvy, doing something else with it, really helps me with the creative process. So it's not just like doing one thing. I'm like, oh, I should probably try doing this. Like last
Right.
night, I took a picture that's inspired by the show I like, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna take a picture of the city I have and a picture of the moon, and I'm gonna try to meld them together and see what I get.
That's pretty cool. So do you have any like special photographers that influence you? Like your influences your work?
I can't name them off the top of my head. Most
Okay.
of them are actually um, Asian artists because they do a good job at capturing the moment.
Right.
Um, One does it really well, like you can see the composition, it makes you feel like you're there. Another one, I would say does it even better. It's a style, I can't think of it at the top of my head, but basically it's like it's a bad picture. And I know it's gonna sound weird, like why would you be inspired by somebody who takes bad pictures? But it's not the fact that it's like badly composed and everything like that. It makes you feel like, oh, you're right in front of that person. Like it's a bad angle, but it's supposed to be because you want to feel kind of like homely. You get what I'm saying?
Right, right. That makes sense. So, where does inspiration strike you? So, meaning, is it like a certain place, a setting, a mood, an atmosphere, time of year?
Hmm. I would have to say it's like a certain mindset.
Mindset?
So sometimes I just have like photos in mind before I take them. And
Right.
so it's really searching for a place that says, oh, this is it right here. So that's usually how it goes. I'm like, I would be walking maybe with my girlfriend, a friend of mine, and then I'm like, oh, this is the shot. And I was like, I got to stop everything I'm doing and make sure I get it right. Because
Yeah,
it's like I form it in my head first, and I
that's so
try my best
cool.
to translate it.
That's awesome. So, do you have like a long-term goal for your photography, like project-wise, professionally wise, just a
Um,
goal?
I did. This is the part where it gets fuzzy because I did have goals. It was to get into a magazine and get into a museum. And
Yeah.
I started really putting things out there just last year in 2020. And then I did both of those things within a month of each other. So I'm like, oh, what's my new goal? Um,
Yeah.
so now I'm thinking I want to sell prints. So for like
Okay.
photography professionally, I want to sell prints. And then creatively, I want to go to more kind of like set design.
Mhm.
Um, I'm not sure if I want to do the whole, I'm going to get borders and everything like that, or like
Mhm.
location design, but that's really where I want to take it to like the next level.
That's pretty awesome. I've actually seen some of your work. It's really nice.
Thank
So,
you.
all right. So do you have a favorite color? And how does this color describe you as a person?
Um, my favorite color, I would say it's ironic, but it's always has been. It's blue.
Blue.
Yeah.
Good choice.
My favorite color is blue because I think blue matches so many moods. Blue can be happy, it can be like innocent, it can be like angry, it can be
Yeah.
sad. So like, you know, there's so many other colors that have like they're designed whatever, like green is icky to me, but blue can
Hmm.
be whatever it wants. It's a very mellow color.
Right.
Um, and I feel like that's also the type of like what I give off. I give off very blue. I know it sounds weird, but
Oh, that's actually a pretty good answer. Blue can go so many different ways and mean so many different things just depending on the person. So, all right, I think I got one more question for you because I'm not sure how good we are on time right now. But what is creativity to you?
to me it is that that banging on the door of your head that you just have to get out, whether it's
Hmm.
like emotion or whatever you might say logic is. If you're feeling sad or something, it's that thing you have to get out. And I wish that people would use it more, kind of like music therapy or like painting and things like that.
Hmm.
Use that creative mind to really push yourself forward and make yourself feel better.
Right.
Part of my creative journey happened during the pandemic.
Mhm.
Um, and it was because we were all stuck in the house and stuff like that. So before I used to go out every weekend and say, well, I'm gonna go take pictures. Then it turned into, well, I can't go take pictures. So instead, I'm gonna sit outside my house and take pictures of birds that are
Yeah.
stooped up on the power lines and see what they're doing.
Right.
And those are some of my favorites. So
Okay, well, that's pretty cool. That's a good way to put creativity. I think creativity to
thank
me is like being unique, being different, being apart from other people, making it your own,
you.
you know, just different stuff like that. But I think that's all the time we have for today. I really appreciate your time with us. And I hope all the viewers out there get familiar with this face, because we're going to be seeing more of him. We're going to be seeing more of his work. So thank you so much for interviewing with us.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
All righty. See you later.